Hey there. So I just finished recording an episode about imposter syndrome. I am addressing it from the stance of basically that question that we ask, which is, am I qualified for this? But I'm doing so also by highlighting a key figure in the Bible, which is the prophet Moses, in which Moses basically goes to God and he's like, God, I know you're telling me to go speak to Pharaoh and to let, the Israelites go, but you see, I'm not qualified for it. And I realize Moses gives God 5 different reasons why he is not qualified to do what God has set before him. And so if, you may be familiar that 5 also represents grace. It represents favor also, if I'm not mistaken. So the fact of the matter is, even though Moses was essentially disqualifying himself from the mission before it even started, God was still able to work with him. Now, I also point out it's also noticeable that God does get a little furious with Moses, which he rightfully has the right to do so. Like, it doesn't matter how many times you go back and forth with me. I have called you to do this. Now, your brother may come along, right, Aaron, to help you out because, yes, Moses, you're saying you're not qualified because you're slow of speech and that you may not be able to articulate well. So I'm going to send your brother Aaron with you. But because I've charged you with this first, you're going to go speak, right? You're going to do it. And so I'm realizing that you're called to it, right? It doesn't matter if God sends other people in your path to help you out, to help you bring the mission, bring whatever it is forward. But if he called you to it, you're called to it, right? You're not getting out of it that easy. And so many times you may find yourself just like Moses being like, I'm not qualified for this because so-and-so is better and so has the credentials. Maybe they do. But whatever God has called you to do, you're going to do it. Even if someone comes alongside you to help you, right? My pastor and so many others I've heard say this, they're called destiny helpers. So you may have a destiny helper that comes along to help you push whatever it is out. But if God has called you to it, you're going to do it, right? God called Moses to speak to it. So yes, Aaron may be more, quote unquote, qualified in that capacity. But God was still going to train Moses. He was still going to speak through Moses. So even though Aaron was going to come alongside him and help perform these acts, such as with the staff, I'm like, God still shows us Moses had to speak to it. So don't allow you to disqualify yourself from what God is calling you into because you're called to it.